Okay, I'm Brandon Baker, senior computer science major at North Carolina A&T, and we're here with
Dr. Cheryl Swanier.
Okay, Dr. Swanier. Let's start off by, who are you? Who are you?
Well, I come from a very diverse work background and educational experiences. I have a bachelor's in computer science from Albany State University, Albany, Georgia. I also have a master's in computer science from State University of New York at Binghamton. I also have a master's in mathematics education from Columbus State University, Columbus, Georgia. And I have a doctorate in education from Auburn University. Currently, I'm pursuing a second doctorate, PhD in computer science, also at Auburn University. I'm also an associate professor of computer science at Fort Valley State University in Fort Valley, Georgia. So I worked in industry for almost 15 years before going into academia. I worked at IBM in upstate New York, and I also worked at Total System Services in Columbus, Georgia as a computer programmer. So for almost 15 years I've worked in industry as a computer programmer, and then decided I want to go into academia.
That's a lot. What drives you? What drives you to go through all those different diverse paths?
The desire to be successful in my career, wanting to achieve and be all that I could be, basically.
So what are you doing right now?
I'm pursuing that second PhD in computer science at Auburn University. And I'm working as an associate professor of computer science at Fort Valley State University as well.
You want to talk about your dissertation right now?
Well, actually, I'm still taking courses, and I haven't done that much work in terms of my research. I'm just trying to do one thing at a time right now.
So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oh, 5 years. Preferably, I've completed that PhD in computer science, promoted to full professor. Then, after 5 years, in the next 10 years, hopefully be a president of HBCU. So once I reach that goal, then I think I've been successful.
Okay. So let's go under 5 years. What do you hope to get out of this PhD program that you're in?
Basically, well, I will share with you that my research interest right now deals with HCI, human-computer interaction. Although I have a love for somehow doing integrating both education and technology, and see how we can use technology to help improve math for schools across the nation from K through 12.
So where do you see HCI and this integration in technology and education in the next?
Well, quite frankly, I haven't put the two together. Those are like two separate entities in which I'm, interested. HCI, and then education and technology, and seeing how we can use technology to advance, scores in mathematics, K-12 education.
What got you interested in computer science?
Well, that's quite interesting. I'm from a small country town in southeast Georgia. We only had one stoplight when I graduated. No computers in the high school. So when I first went to Albany State University, I was a math major. And my advisor said, don't go into math. He said, go into computer science. And that's the thing of the future. And that was back in the early 80s. So, and computer science was beginning to evolve. And that's what got me initially interested in computer science. Someone telling me, hey, you have a strong math background. I know you want to be a math major, but think more towards the future. But although I was initially a math major, I always maintained a foundation of mathematics in my curriculum. I took math courses from my freshman year through my senior year, and then proceeded, eventually to get a master's in mathematics education. So I've always had a love for mathematics. However, how can I use math and technology? And so I pursued the computer science degree. So that's how I got started, because no one in my family had a background in technology. Not only that, corporate America.
What words of advice would you like to give students in the fields of computing right now?
First, let me say, if you're pursuing a degree in computer science, undergrad, and you want to decide to pursue master's or PhD, do not stop. Get it while you're young, while your brain is still vibrant and you have a lot of vitality. You don't create any dependencies. Get all your educational endeavors out of the way. Don't wait till you get my age, and say, oh, I want to go back and get a PhD. Because sometimes the learning curve may be a little bit greater if you had a lapse or a gap in the time from when you got your degree in computer science. Because when I got my degree in computer science, my bachelor's, there were no high-level programming languages like Java, object-oriented programming languages like Java and C++. When I first took computer science courses, it was just basic programming, Pascal, RPG, assembler. But even the ones who taught it, like I said, computer science was just evolving. But now with me going back at this later, like almost 30 years later, and technology has changed. It's been a huge learning curve. So I would strongly advise you, anyone that's pursuing this field, you got to stay abreast of the latest technologies. Don't let your degree go to waste. If you're really interested in it, stick with it and see what you can do to further the advancement, of technology.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.